Good morning. In the previous class, we have studied about elastic behavior of solid and stress and its types. Now, our next topic is strain. We have studied when force is applied on a body, there will be stress produced in the body. As a result, there is another change take place that we call strain. We can define when a deforming force is applied on a body, there is a change in the configuration of the body. The body is said to be strained or deformed. We can also define the ratio of change in configuration to the original configuration is called strain. Mathematically, we can write strain is equal to change in configuration per original configuration. Strain has no units and dimensions as it is the ratio of two like quantities. Types of strain. Depending upon the change produced in the configuration, there are three types of strain. First, longitudinal strain. Second, volumetric strain. Third, shearing strain. Types of strain. Let us discuss them one by one. Longitudinal strain. If the deforming force produces a change in length alone, the strain produced in the body is called longitudinal or tensile strain. When change is only along the length, it means we are applying the longitudinal stress, then there is longitudinal strain. Longitudinal strain is equal to change in length per unit original length. Second, volumetric strain. If the deforming force produces a change in volume alone, the strain produced in the body is called volumetric strain. It is corresponding to the volumetric stress, because in volumetric stress, volume changes. As a result, there will be volumetric strain. Volumetric strain is equal to change in volume per unit original volume. Next is shearing strain. Corresponding to the shearing stress or tangential stress, there is a shearing strain. Shearing strain we can measure by the angle theta, or we can measure it in terms of radian. We can define as an angle in radian through which a plane perpendicular to the fixed surface of the cubical body get turned under the effect of tangential force. Shearing strain is equal to theta, or theta we can write in terms of distance is equal to delta x upon x. Next is elastic limit. Elastic limit is the upper limit of deforming force up to which, if deforming force is removed, the body regains its original form completely, and after which, if deforming force is increased, then body loses its property of elasticity and get permanently deformed. It means by elastic limit we can find up to which limit the body behaves elastic body or it shows the property of elasticity, and after which the body behaves plastic limit, plastic property. Next is Hooke's law. Hooke's law states that extension produced in the wire is directly proportional to the load applied within elastic limit. In earlier times, it is supposed that when force is applied on a body, then only change take place along the length. But nowadays, we have seen when force is applied on a body, change can take place along length, along volume, and in the shape also. Therefore, we can modify Hooke's law within elastic limit. The stress developed is directly proportional to the strain produced in a body. Or we can write stress is proportional to strain. Stress is equal to E into strain, where E is constant of proportionality and is known as modulus of elasticity of the material of the body. Next is stress-strain relationship in a wire. We can apply the concept of stress and strain in a wire. It means when a wire is loaded with some external force, then how its length gets changed or how it gets deformed, or we can say stress-strain relationship in a wire. For this, we have suspended a wire with a rigid support and load is applied on the another end of the wire. We go on increasing the load on a wire. Correspondingly, we observe the stress. In this way, we go on increasing the load. We will see the stress-strain behavior of a wire in terms of a graph. If we plot a graph between stress and strain, we will get a curve like this, as shown in figure. In the graph, we have seen various regions. Region OA, in which the graph is a straight line. Graph is a straight line means in this region, stress is proportional to strain. It means corresponding to stress, there is strain produced in the body. And here Hooke's law is obeyed in the region OA because graph is a straight line. At point A, point A is known as proportional limit because here stress and strain both are proportional to each other. In the region from A to B, we have seen graph is not a straight line but it is curve. It means stress and strain is not proportional to each other, but at point B, if we unload the wire, then wire will immediately regains its original configuration. Therefore, point B is called elastic limit or yield point. In the region BC, again graph is curve, non-linear. Here we also say that corresponding to stress, there is large strain produced. But at point C, if we unload the wire, the wire does not regain its original shape immediately and completely, but there is a slight change in the configuration of the wire. That change is known as permanent set. In the region between C to D, we have also seen that corresponding to stress, there is large strain produced, and now the body will show plastic behavior. At point D, the stress is known as ultimate stress because it is the maximum stress that the wire can bear. After which, if we increase the load in the wire, then wire will show cones and waste, and if we go on increasing the load, then at point E, the wire will break, or we can say point E is the fracture point. In this way, we can see how stress and strain related to each other in a wire. From this curve, we will discuss the following points. We have discussed it. It is a curve between stress and strain. A graph is plotted between the stress and the strain produced. The graph helps us to understand how a given material deforms with increasing loads. The curve between O to A is a straight line. This means stress is directly proportional to strain. In this region, Hooke's law is applicable. Point A is called point of proportional limit. In this region, the material behaves like an elastic body. Beyond the point A, the graph is not a straight line as indicated by AB. The point B is called elastic limit. In the region from A to B, stress and strain are not directly proportional, but still the material returns to its original dimension after the force is removed. The point B in the curve is known as yield point, also known as elastic limit, which means till this point the material will be elastic in behavior and the stress corresponding to point B is known as yield strength of the material. The region between O to B is called as elastic region. From point B to D, we see that strain increases rapidly even for a small change in stress. Even if we remove the force, the material does not come back to its original position. At this point, stress is zero, but strain is not zero as body has changed its shape. Or we can say the material has undergone plastic deformation. The material is said to be permanent set. The point D on the graph is known as ultimate tensile strength of the material. From D to E, we can see that stress decreases even if strain increases. Finally, at point E, fracture occurs. This means the body breaks. For example, metals, gold and silver. Elastic substances like rubber have large elastic region. We can also classify materials on the basis of stress-strain curve. Ductile material, Here we can see from the graph stress versus strain. This is the curve of a ductile material. In this ductile material range, the plastic range is more as compared to elastic range, or we can say ductile materials show more plastic range. Such materials are used in making spring and sheets. Examples: copper, silver, iron, aluminium, etc. Brittle. From the graph we have seen brittle materials have very small plastic range. Their fracture point lies close to the elastic limit. For example, cast iron, glass, etc. Third type of material is elastomers, for which stress-strain curve is not a straight line within elastic limit. After studying these topics, these are home assignment which you have to complete in your notebook. Thank you.